All right, guys, welcome in, welcome back. I'm just jumping on here for a little bit. Should have hopefully I got audio. Let me know if the audio's okay. I can't never tell. See if we got audio. I'll see if we're streaming on everywhere. Looks like we got Twitch going, D Live, Facebook Live, and both YouTube channels float. I can't get going for some reason. All right, 5x5. Look at the spraying operation over Nebraska, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma. Watch this aerosols come bombing in on us. Here, I'll slow it down so I can do it a little slower here. You got just massive spraying operations out ahead of this system, but watch how they just come right through Kansas, all the way down into Arkansas, all the way down into Kentucky or Tennessee. And you got a couple of rogue sprayers and then a bunch of little sprayers down there in Arkansas. And then they just keep ramping up out of this central point right here, and then just tons of spraying right over Missouri. We've seen it on the earlier videos I put out. Look at that, just mass toxic skies right there. Yeah, I always get a headache when they spray. Like, I can tell they're spraying before I even come out of the house because it makes my sinuses hurt. You can see all the man-made clouds doing little loop-de-loops out here. But anyway, I'm going to go over some of the footage we took a couple nights ago. I caught a couple meteors. Couple other weird things. Caught something, I don't even know what it is. Could be a bug, could be a bird, who knows. All right, let me, so first I used 4 cameras the other night. We did the nighttime live stream. And I used 4 cameras. Let me get, so 2 of the cameras we had on a one big, let me get this, I really didn't get all this ready. I just jumped in here real quick. So we're going to kind of do it on the fly. And just looking at the thumbnails with the full moon coming out, man, it makes my nighttime photos look like daytime photos. And we'll get into, I don't know which one I want to show first. So anyway, here's the first camera. This is on this is just a regular DSLR camera, Canon, hooked to a 400 millimeter telescope. And I had it pointed in the general direction of the meteor shower. Tomorrow night's supposed to be the big night, but I think it's going to be cloudy here for the Perseids meteor shower. But I caught a couple here blowing through. But then I don't know if this is the one I caught the weird stuff or not. Let me just kind of pan through these pictures real quick. Now there's what a plane looks like. That's what a plane looks like through the 400 millimeter telescope, man. Look at them running lights and stuff. That's a big plane. That's probably the stealth bomber or something right there. And really, that's, I think about all I caught on these. I didn't catch a whole lot. This is pretty zoomed in. I'll show you the difference. That was me trying to get it focused. Like I said, these are all nighttime photos, but the moon was out. Okay, let me get rid of that one. Let me find the other ones here. Okay, so this is just a stock camera. And it looks like I was taking 120-second exposures. ISO set at 800. And you just kind of see as I scroll through these pictures, I mean, the moon really takes away the stars. Like, you can't hardly see any stars when the moon's out. That's why when you take pictures of planets and the moon, you can't really see the stars because of light pollution. That's actually Jupiter right there. I was probably already in bed at this time. And if you look closely here in a second, yeah, here comes this weird thing that gets on the telescope. I don't know if this is this big shadow, weird looking thing, or this ain't even on a telescope. This is just on my camera. But it comes in here, and it's here for a long time. But look at that thing. What the heck is that? And watch, it'll just kind of stay there, and then it looks like it gets like arms. I'm just trying to scroll through some of these, and I'll scroll it back. I'm trying to go, and then it just disappears. But you got Jupiter right here. You can see how bright that sucker is. That's just through a stock camera, stock lens, stock everything. Look, there's Andromeda Galaxy. Just kind of a fuzzy blur. But let me back that back up so you can see that again. I don't know what that is. It looks like it's got like a arm and then a body and arm. I mean, it could be a bug. I don't know. But man, it was there for a while because each picture is 120 seconds. It's not a tree limb. I mean, this is right on the camera. And I don't know if it's like a bird. I don't know if it's like a praying mantis. I don't know what the heck it is. I wasn't up there. So it kind of come in from up here. I'm just kind of scrolling through here. It's just weird looking. I've never had that. I've never took nothing like that. Like, what is that thing? I mean, if that's a bug, it's almost taking the whole lens up. But it's just a weird shape. So pretty freaky. Yeah, like a space squid or something, man. Or just some kind of big-ass bug on the lens. I can't believe how long it was there, though. Anyway, that's just weird looking. Man, I definitely had that camera in focus, almost like a Batnoff mask. So I was in pretty good focus. But yeah, ew, it looks like it's breathing. Look at the stomach right here. Look, watch how the stomach looks like it's breathing. That is weird looking. I just noticed that. So whatever it is, it's like pulsating. Man, that is freaky looking. Could be a praying mantis. That's what I was kind of thinking too. Oh wow, something kind of flew in over on that side too. Anyway, that was pretty freaky. Let's go ahead and get into some of the other stuff here. So we were filming Saturn. I used 2 telescopes. I used a really little 50 millimeter telescope, and I mean it's just supposed to be like a guide scope or a spotting scope. But look how little Saturn is in that thing. This with a 5 megapixel web camera. Here's a second video I took of it. So that's the size of it through a little, it's probably 2 inches round, maybe 2.5 inches round. I mean, you can look up a 50 millimeter guide scope. And I really, as far as a picture, man, it didn't really make a good picture. See if I can get out of here now. How do I close this? Yeah, I think this is a picture I come out, so it didn't come out that good, but it's all blurry and fuzzy. Now we go to the big scope. So now we're using an 11-inch Celestron telescope with a 2.1 megapixel web camera. And these are just some monochrome videos here if they'll play. But wait till you see some of these pictures we got after I processed them, man. They're insane. I don't know. These things take forever to load, man. These video files, that's why. Let me try the other one, because that one just not wanting to load. See if I can get this one to load. Depending on what resolution I film them in. Man, why ain't they working? These are going through the network, so that may be why it's taking it a while to load. Alright, so that's pretty zoomed in on it. That's probably 320 by, and I'm going to show you what the pictures look like after you align the channels. We try to get the smaller one. Smaller one looks a little better. See if we get this one to load. Yeah, Windows 11 sucks, man. That's all they put on the computers now. Even if you go in a pawn shop to try to buy an old one, it's got Windows 11 on it. Hopefully this one will load. And then I'm going to show you the finished pictures. If we can get this one to load. Yeah, this one looks a little better. These are in black, and I filmed them in 8-bit, which is black and white, but then when you run them through the program, then it realigns all the color channels in there, and then if you got to, I just hit auto balance, and it usually balances out the colors. Man, this thing you just don't want to run. Man, what's going on with this thing? Here, let me try to fast forward. Maybe it's just kind of stuck. And the humidity, I think, is around 74%. But these are just the black and white ones. But here, let me show you the, after I run them through the program that processes them. Like, this is the picture of the video we just seen. If you zoom in on it, and as I went through the night, it just kept getting clear and clear and clear. I mean, that's a nice shot of Saturn right there. Couldn't pick up the moons because it was too, the moon was too bright. That's just a monochrome one there. And then check out as I get through later in the night. This small version, but look at the colors on that thing. These are no enhancements, just balancing the color. I'll show you the ones I try to enhance them, and they just look like crap. So I just leave them whatever the camera spits out. And you can see it. The later it got, the more clear it got. I don't know if this one's black and white or not. Yeah, it's kind of. And I filmed these in all different resolutions. I mean, it tells you exactly. I think this one here is pretty nice one right there. I can't tell if that's the best one or this one. Probably this one. Yeah, this one's sharp looking. Couldn't pick up the moons, man. The moon of the big moon was blocking out the moons. If you watched the live stream last night, I cranked it up and we could see 3 of the moons. But I mean, this just turns into a big old white blob when you crank up the ISOs on it. I can go back and look. And this tells me exactly what everything was. Says my exposure was 3,000 milliseconds. The gain was set at 300. Target brightness 68. 2x2 binding. So like most of these I filmed in 968 by 564, 2000 frames, raw, 16-bit. And like this one, this is the one that was in 8-bit. And it was 1x1 binding. But I filmed that in 1936 by 1096. So like if you do it in like 640 by 480, It it's like a bigger picture, you know, like that. Well, that's not really bigger. It's just the planet looks bigger. And then I think my finished pictures. If I can find them here. Pictures. We'll go to August. Yeah, like here's if you crank it up to see the 3 moons around Saturn. Look how it blows everything out. They're there, you just can't see them. That was just a camera. Like here's a regular camera just shooting up. That's probably Jupiter though. And there's that little 50 millimeter guide scope. Trying to see as Polaris stuff I was doing with that. Now there's running it, trying to auto balance the colors. Now that one's pretty sweet right there. Not bad for backyard stuff. No computerized stuff. Just cameras and glass. Camera sensors and glass. Man, that wouldn't really come out blue. Like this was from the night it was really humid. You know, it couldn't get no detail. The color was like from the fire smoke. Here's actually Mars. But you can see it didn't come out real good. Whenever it's humid, like you see a couple of the moons there. See, when it's humid, man, you can't get no detail. I mean, that's about as good as I could get the other night. And I couldn't stay up late enough to get when it was clear. And that's like, I think that's all the August photos I got so far. And I may film tonight if it clears up. I don't know if it's going to clear up. And the other thing I'm working on is, you know, you always say that, people always say Polaris is stationary. So what I've done is I've took 3 cameras, and I'm going to try and get all 3 of these up here so we can look at the differences. We get them up here. All right, now let me go to this one. Okay, so this is just a factory camera. I didn't even have my telescope on. This is just pointed at the north, not the north, you know, not Polaris, but about 7 degrees off. I think that's what it is. From, oh, I'm trying to remember how many degrees that was. Something's wrong here. Oh, I know what's wrong. I still had my enhancement to see the aerosol deployments. Now, what people don't know, that Polaris, man, that wasn't always the North Star. Like a long time ago, it was a different star. A long time from now, it'll be a different star. Our magnetic pole just keeps on moving around. So it's always kind of moving, but we can zoom in on here. Now really from the magnetic true north, there's actually like 3 or 4 north stars, or I guess, I don't know what they call it, but the big white one here, that's Polaris. So it's about 1.25 times the distance of the moon to true north. So if you're standing on the ground and you just take a single shot, or look through, like say you're looking through the little hole that was in the guide stones or in the pyramids or whatever, it's going to look like it's not moving. But if you do long photography, like this is 6 hours worth of photos. And if I just go back to the pictures themselves, each photo, it doesn't look like it's moving. Like I can just keep on going down. I mean, it don't look like it's moving from the ground, but when you stack all the pictures on top of each other, then you can actually see. You can actually see that's how far it moves. It's like a moon and a quarter of a moon off from the actual true center. So that's just with a factory camera. You can do this yourself. Just put it, the Polaris, the North Star, right in the, put it like in the center of your viewfinder, and then you'll see, take like a couple hundred pictures, and then you'll see that it actually rotates. You just can't see it really with the naked eye. Now this is zoomed in with a 400 millimeter scope. You can see there's really no star at the north, the true north, and this is Polaris right here. And this is 6 hours and 8 minutes worth of photos. If you go to the, if I go back to the just single pictures, here's what it looked like. As you go through each photo, even though they're not wanting to load here, I can crank up the while they're not wanting to load. My computer may be asleep. There it goes. So you can't see it rotating unless you're watching it for hours and hours. It looks like these were took 200 seconds, 240-second photos each. So you're talking 4-minute photos or something. So that's, medium. It's still called wide view photography, but it's still pretty up close. So Polaris is way off from the center. And then I really zoomed in with my deep space camera, but I only got 38 minutes. So that's how far Polaris moved in 38 minutes. And the center's way up over here. Like all these are hooked to the same mount. So, whenever anybody says that the North Star is stationary, have them do this. If they got a camera, you could probably use your cell phone. You could probably download the app to where you can make it take a picture every 30 seconds, take a 30-second photo every 30 seconds, let it run like all night long. Leave it stationary, and you'll be able to prove to yourself the Polaris actually rotates. There's so much bad information. All night long. Whoa, what's that? Where's that coming from? Leave it stationary, and you'll be able to prove to yourself. That's weird. The Polaris actually rotates. Where is that coming from? There's so much bad information. All night long. Whoa, what's that? Where's that coming from? Leave it stationary, and you'll be able to prove to yourself. That's weird. I have no idea where that's coming from. Actually rotates. Where is that coming from? Oh, it's coming from D Live. That's weird. I don't know how, but somehow I hit the D Live sound button. And then we can look, like if you download the program Stellarium, this is what I use on my phone. Like this will tell you if you see weird lights, like you see Saturn's getting ready to come up, you can put your coordinates in here and say you want to watch that meteor shower. Like you can see right now it's going to be just a little bit off to the north. Here's Polaris right there. Now if I take the, I can fast forward time here. See, if you're just standing on the ground, it don't look like it's moving. But if you zoom in on that sucker, it's definitely moving. See, it looks like it's staying stationary. But if you zoom in on this sucker, and I may have to zoom in with this. Let's see if I can fast forward if we can tell. Yeah, you can tell it's moving, but that's exactly what my pictures look like. So true north, around in here. In fact, I can show you where true north is. If I put on the grid, wrong grid. Yeah, so that's how far true north is. Oops, let me get it back on now. Like, this is the first thing you have to learn when you get a telescope. You got to learn to align your telescope to true magnetic north, which is way up here. And like I said, the distance from true north to Polaris is about the width and a quarter of a width of the moon. And then if you get your telescope aligned right there, then you'll be, super aligned, and your telescope will track really good. It's not as easy as it looks, though. So you can see if I, really speed this up, you can see that Polaris is moving all the time. Every night. Spinning around. But that's zoomed in, People think it's, whoa, what'd I do here? Man, I got this thing all freaked out. I got too much stuff going here. Okay, let me put it back on now. Put it on now, and let me get rid of all this weird stuff on here so I can see what I'm doing. Unclick that. Alright. Anyway, this program's awesome, man. If you see a light in the sky, you don't know what it is. Could be Saturn. Let's see what moons. See, this even shows you, like, when you're filming something low in the sky, you're going through all the atmosphere. And look, as you go up, it gets clear. So if you're trying to film something low in the sky, this is what makes trees and stuff look like they're in front of the sun, because it's all the atmosphere around it. So we can see all the moons. We filmed Titan the other day. It's like real yellow. Like, you could really see it even in my pictures. But I mean, there's a lot of moons around here, but they're hard to pick up because of the brightness of the planet. Just like you can't pick up, like, even Jupiter is really hard to get the little moons around it because Jupiter's so bright. It's just like our moon's blocking out. Like, watch when I bring the moon up, how it washes out the stars. So, like, if you didn't have light pollution, if you didn't have an atmosphere and light pollution, this is what the sky would look like. Now let me fast forward this till the moon comes up. I probably got to turn the atmosphere back on, yeah. So we can see right now, we can see pretty good amount of stars. Now as you fast forward this and get the moon up, I don't know if this... Now look how you really can't see very many stars with the moon. Look, that's even showing the clouds, some of the clouds. And that's also why my nighttime photos look like daytime. I was probably filming like right around this way. I got a big tree right here. So I couldn't quite get squared up on the Palisades media shower. So it looks like the moon will be up. Let me get back on now. So right now Saturn's coming up. You can film Saturn and Jupiter a little bit in the day, as long as you're already on it. And I'm going to try to go up there and film a little bit tonight. So actually Saturn comes up before the moon tonight. So it'll be Saturn, and the meteor shower is going to be just right over here. This is at 2142. So let me just take this on up to about 11 o'clock at night. Oh, I went all the way to 12. So really, you're going to stay up pretty late if you want to watch that meteor shower. Man, that'd be cool to film them nebulas right there as you're trying to get the meteor shower. But what sucks is the moon's out, so that's going to mess everything up. So really, it won't even be worth filming stars tonight. But I can film the planets. So if I can stay up somehow to midnight, I'll be able to get Saturn, the moon, and Jupiter. And I'll go live on it. And then Uranus and Mars comes up. Pleiades is coming up. So this would be about 2 in the morning. You can start filming Mars. You notice the moon's real low in the sky. Look, it's real low in the sky. Where's Saturn? Yeah, the higher they are in the sky, the more clear your pictures are going to be because you're not going through all the atmosphere and all that crap. Hold on, let me get a drink. Like it's always the axis of the Earth changes through summer and winter. And that's also why in the southern hemisphere, like they can't see the North Star. They got to use what's called the Southern Cross to align their telescopes. So if you live south of the equator, you have to use the Southern Cross to align your telescope because you're looking at it from a different way. Yeah, let's see here. So let me get out of this. And I still haven't made a video of some of the star shots that I've shot last month, but here, let's just go look. See, this is why with the moon's out. Look, it looks like it's a daytime photo with stars. It's really not. That's a nighttime photo, but with the moon, it really washes the sky out. But what I was going to show you is go back to last month. We'll go back to July. I'm pretty sure I took some. Man, I really didn't film no nebulas hardly at all last month. I tried to get the Bell Nebula. It's supposed to be some kind of supernova. I've filmed that a lot better before. We had pretty good Jupiters. There was Mars. There's a pretty good okay shot of Mars. I mean, Mars is so little, even with a big telescope. Yeah, it looks like I mainly shot the Milky Way. Some of Saturn. What about the month before that? So it don't look like I really got to shoot any kind of deep space stuff. What is this? Oh yeah, so it looks like I haven't really got to shoot a whole lot of deep space stuff since June. Looks like I've just been mainly doing the Milky Way. That's the pillars. This is supposed to be the pillars of creation. They're like right here. But man, I don't have near enough filming time. You gotta have like 10, 20 hours. That one's all blurry. I need to delete that one. Trying to see what all I got here. Nothing really good. So really, doesn't look like I've done a whole lot of good filming last few months. How about May? Probably because I got all this. Winter time's really the best. What is this? Man, that's colorful. Like galaxy season was. Yeah, see, here's the Bode's Nebula. I think you could still film that one right now because it's pretty high in the sky. Like the next one I'm going to be trying to film is the Andromeda Galaxy. In fact, we can go see where that is right now. We just see where that is. Yeah, I got some really good pictures. I mean, every night it all depends on the if the moon's out, depends on the humidity, the dew points and all that. Trying to see where it is. Pictures yesterday. We fast forward this a little bit. Oh, there it is. Whoa, dang it. I always get that going too fast. So it's actually popping up right now. So it's about the same height up in the sky as Saturn. You can see this with the naked eye. It's probably the biggest galaxy that you can see with your eyes. Now I've got some pretty damn good shots of that on my Facebook page. Anyway, I may try to film that. Well, no, I got full moon. I'm not even going to try to film that. I'm just going to stick with the planets till the moon goes away. I mean, there's so much cool stuff that you could be filming right now. Like all these weird little... There's that Pillars of Creation that I was trying to catch. There's so much weird stuff up there right now. But when you got a full moon, man, don't even waste your time. Like I filmed this the other day, like a month ago. It's weird. It's like a monkey. Like this looks like some of the cave drawings you see. You got to remember back in the old, ancient times, there was no light pollution. There wasn't no pollution in the skies, other than maybe some fire smoke. A P900 might work, but man, it's really hard. Like, that's if you can control the ISOs and zoom. I mean, that'd be good for planetary. And I know I could look on the. I'm sure people take good photos with P900s of deep space. If you got them like in the. If you got it stuck in a telescope or something. Does the P900, can you take the lens off where you can hook it right to a telescope? Yeah, moon filter. I never use a moon filter. I just turn the gain way down. I do have moon filters. When I first started, I was always using moon filters and stuff. Here we'll just look at some of the photos that I've took. And now we're going to get into a news stream tomorrow night. So let's just see some of the deep space stuff here if I got any here. Like I love filming. If you're like, you should try your P900 on the Andromeda Galaxy, Pleiades. That's a pretty good shot of Pleiades right here. I mean, that's got pretty good shot right there. That was shot on January 29th this year. So that was shot this year. Here's the Orion Nebula with a plane. This is with all the satellites coming through. Like I left all the satellites in the picture just to show you the pollution. Here's one of my pictures of Andromeda. This is probably one of my best pictures I've took of Andromeda. I mean, I wish I could zoom in on it. I meant to download it. And then we can zoom in on it. These are all on my other hard drive. Yeah, I'll have 4 cameras going tonight. 2 will be doing planetary. And the other 2 cameras I will be filming for the meteor showers. But I can only stream probably with the planetary. I mean, that's pretty good detail. And I'm not using no expensive camera, man. I'm using a Canon Rebel T3. It's old, like from the 80s. I just got it shoved into the back of a telescope, which gives it, you know, some pretty good zoom. I didn't write down how, this is probably like 4 hours of data stacked. So that's a pretty nice photo. That's why I say people spend the time and film the sky. Like here's that that Veil Nebula. Like wintertime's good for that. I think this is the Triangulum Galaxy. Man, I need to really write down what I upload because I don't have none of the names. This is the Rosetta Nebula. Yeah, at least I wrote it down on here. Rosetta Nebula and the satellite cluster. Here's the North American Nebula. That's some crazy looking bright stuff right there. That's up right now, but with the moon up. I'm trying to see if I got it really old from when I first started. This is the strangest thing I've ever caught. I think this is part of an aurora, or man, I can't remember what they called it. I did find out what it was, but it's like an aurora, but it's like an aurora stream. It's weird, man. Yeah, I got my desktop photo right now is a bunch of I can't remember what they call it. The like it's got, there's probably like 100 galaxies in this one picture. Like, now I gotta find where I was at here. So here's probably my best picture of Mars, and this was took back on October 11th, 2020. You can see the polar ice cap on there, and it was a full, so that must have been, yeah, it took later in the year, because right now it's only about 3/4 of a planet because of the way the sun is. So that's just some of them. I should have an actual astro. Like here's probably the first picture I took of Andromeda, which isn't very good when you first start out, man. I got some, here's my old setup. Like these are the targets you start out with. These are all really old pictures, most of them. I remember, like, this is probably my first picture of Andromeda, and I was proud of this thing, and it's nothing like the one I just took. Yeah, that's when I was in Independence Battalion. This is back in 2015. That's probably the first picture I ever took of Andromeda. So you can see the difference what 7 years of filming the sky does. And I still use the same camera, man. Hercules Nebula. Back in 2019. That's an 8-inch telescope. That's one I might be giving away. But I gotta find a motor. I think that's my best Saturn. And this is back in 2015. That's before I dropped my camera like 100 times. I mean, that is pretty crystal clear. And that's from the city light pollution. So the ones I took last night are almost as good as that. I mean, that is really sharp right there. So anyway, it just takes time, man. You got to enjoy the skies now because they're getting wiped out with light pollution and satellites and all that crap. And I lost my folder I had up. I don't even know where to go. I gotta go over to the August 8/10. Yeah, I really can't play them because they're in. I don't know, man. I think this one's pretty good too. It's not as clear, but man, the colors are insane on that. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here, guys. Just want to jump on here. I said I'd show some of the photos I got from 2 nights ago, the 10th. And here they are. So I wanted to get on here and do that. Tomorrow we'll probably try to do a regular show. I'll get some sleep in and all that. Anyway, guys, armor up, much love, no fear. Eyes to the sky. That's what it's there for, man. Study the heavens. Sometime we'll all be going there. Some of us sooner than others. Anyway, guys, I'll try to go live. If it clears up out there and I see anything, I'll go live again. We'll do a night stream. And then we'll check everything out that we get. Anyway, guys, armor up, much love. We will catch you tomorrow night. We'll probably do just a regular news broadcast here in about 30 days or whenever I can get the try to get my channel back. I'll probably just come on YouTube to tell you we're going live on Rumble, D-Live, Twitch, all the places we can talk freely. My favorite galaxy is probably Andromeda, just because it's the biggest one. No, I only tell truth, man. Everybody else is the one that are liars, man. I show what I talk about. And then I try to get other people to do their own work, man. My first telescope was $10 at a garage sale. I took a $9 web camera and made a camera for it, and I got, half them photos I showed you for the beginning 2015 or not even with that's just with a web camera. Anyway, people should learn about the skies. Learn the heavens. Anyway, guys, armor up, much love, no fear. Maybe live here in a little bit. Be safe out there. Armor up, man. Everybody better be armoring up. We're in some crazy times, that's for sure. Much love. Thanks everybody out there helping us on the Patreon and the PayPal and the GoFundMes and all that, man. It helps more than you know. You'll be missing some work here. I go in Monday for my PET scan and my MRIs and all that. Yeah, we all got to start with cheap scopes, man. You got to really invest some time in it if you'd like to stay up late. Anyway, guys, much love. Be looking for the meteors. They're going to be really hard to see because of the full moon. Anyway, guys.